everyone. I'm Sambi Alieu, and I'm here with BlacVolta podcast. I'm sitting here today with Larry Cooke, head of legal for Binance Africa. Welcome to the pod. How are you?
I'm well. I'm excited. I am, in the Ghanaian immersed experience of the summit. So, doing very well.
So, is this your first time at the Africa Fintech Summit, or is this your first time in Ghana?
First time at the summit, not
Okay.
live. Second time at the summit.
Okay.
I was at the one in South Africa. I've been in Ghana a lot of times. I don't know, 10th time, I feel like.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, really quite a bit.
Okay, perfect. So you're native a little bit to the scene.
A little bit.
Okay. So you were speaking today as you were giving a keynote and you were talking about Binance, right? As the head of legal for Binance, you were speaking on the purpose of stablecoins and introducing stablecoins into the African fintech economy. Can you tell me how Binance is currently looking to do that on the continent of Africa?
What a loaded question. Love your question. So, let me take you back a bit. So, I before joining Binance and going on to the DeFi side of things, I was an ex-central banker myself. So I worked for the Central Bank of South African Reserve Bank. And then before that, I was also in the banking space already with ABSA. And before ABSA, Barclays Bank Africa, before blue turned into red. So I'm a traditional bank,
Okay.
right? And having entered this space, I could easily understand where the gap was. The gap was one, communicating in terms of what regulators understand the space to look like versus what the tech guys that's building the space try to communicate what the space can do. And through these reiterations, you found stablecoins, a very specific type of cryptocurrency. So cryptocurrency has this bad stigma about it being attached to fraud and corruption, not corruption, fraud and scams, etc., because it wasn't regulated. And that misnomer, that cloud that sat around the perception of what cryptocurrencies are, had to first be demystified, especially in Africa. So that's where the journey kind of starts to say, okay, how does stablecoins become relevant and how do you communicate that to central banks who are the monetary central authority in terms of making anything happen in a country from a monetary perspective. So why stablecoins become relevant is because most of it is backed on US dollars, right? And in all my engagements with various central banks, their mandate is to protect the sovereignty of their country as well as the stability of the local currency, right? Among other mandates that they have, but those are the core mandates that they focus on. So in my conversations, when you talk stablecoins, what they see stablecoins is actually the US dollar. So it is not necessarily appealing because it's almost like you marketing to an African country, say, use the dollar, don't use your local currency. And there's a whole lot of macroeconomic considerations where certain levers are pulled and it can actually devalue a country's local currency, and ultimately the economy can suffer from that perspective. So or at least my role is trying to bridge that gap to speak in a more traditional finance way and from a macroeconomic perspective to help them understand that we get, what their monetary policy is about, understand that, okay, you can use certain mechanisms as well, and stablecoins being one of them to assist with quantitative easing and tightening. That's basically monetary measures to manage interest rates and inflation rates. So making it more practical rather than a marketing pitch of, crypto's going to make you rich. Crypto's going to be just used for remittancy, which is a big use case for stablecoins, but also helping the regulators understand that they can too be part of this economy and make it something that not just enables the retailer users and the incorporated users, but also use it as a monetary tool to advance the economy. So ultimately getting that conversation in those different levels and making people understand why stablecoins have so much utilization is where Binance and my role comes in terms of trying to bridge that gap, drive adoption, and really drive that culture of crypto, a lifestyle of crypto, just like BlacVolta,
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for that. Now, when it comes to, you spoke a lot about regulation. When it comes to what the tech people are trying to bring in versus what the regulators are looking at, where do you see the middle ground so that this can be effectively rolled out, and not just rolled out, but in a time frame where it makes sense to the continent?
Okay, so the path of convergence, I would say, is money. I say very simply, if we talk in money and everybody wins, everybody's happy, right? So you have the industry folks, the corporates, the builders, the dev guys. They want to obviously make money from this new industry, and when you look at the regulators and the policymakers, they want to know, does this increase our GDP so that we can decrease our national debt? Are we stimulating the economy that's going to take pressure off the fiscal budgets in terms of how we're progressing as a country? So where that meets is all based on money, and where you start talking timelines is by saying, do the use cases give enough evidence for them to be incentivized to drive this initiative further, right? You see a lot of the regulators that are kind of dropped in the legislation are the ones that understand the value that this market has. I mean, we're talking billions, if not trillions, US dollar based worth of this industry and what can be tapped into. So that middle ground is really by saying, okay, if there's all these use cases that are beneficial, how do we then get involved? Hence why stable coins is now topical, because we need more local stable coins, right? And understanding, yes, you need the local stable coins, but there's also issues that come with that stable coins, because not a lot of people want Zimbabwean dollars stable coin. Not a lot of people want South African rands or Ghanaian cities on stable coin versions. But where the government and the regulation comes in is that if they structure the economy in such a way that there is a dependency or a compulsory need to utilize those stable coins or allow stablecoin issuers, that kind of increases the demand of this new digital currency of that local currency. So that's where you kind of need to walk slowly with them and say, moving this lever will change this lever, will change this lever, and then you'll get your desired outcome, which is a slow process. It needs a lot of education, but at the end of the day, we're not reinventing the wheel. It's just, I want to say, macroeconomics 101.
Yeah. Okay. So when it comes to not reinventing the wheel, you speak about educating, right? Because the average African, right, on the continent using payment services might not even understand what a stable coin is. So when it comes to the world of crypto, how is Binance taking the initiative to educate young Africans, which make up 70% of the African global population, on the next big thing that is coming to the world?
So, excellent question. So, one thing, Binance Academy.
Okay.
It's a Binance Academy is basically teaches from the fundamental levels of what is a blockchain to the more advanced and intermediate to advanced topics like futures trading. We provide a platform where it's purely educational, purely for people to upskill themselves. That's for free. In fact, there's also learn and earn, where you can actually get some crypto from completing certain courses. But where we've taken a step forward, our mandate as the African team is also to now make sure that it's localized, making sure that the languages that we're using is fit for purpose, not just for the cities, the bigger cities like Accra, but also the smaller rural areas where perhaps the main language isn't perceived to be English or whatever native tongues that are needed.
Yeah.
So we always try in partnership with local players as well, especially in the education space. We welcome anyone reaching out to us and saying how they think or how they believe that we can localize into it, and that's where we kind of try and bridge that gap. I always give the analogy, I could never go to your house and just open up the fridge.
Yeah.
You need to invite me in first. So we're looking for those partnerships, strategic partnerships, where they understand the need and can help us unlock, because it's not that we're going to solve the problem with one silver bullet. No. But what we're saying is that we have tools that we can use and collaborate with local players so that we can get those dark corners or the corners that are untouched or haven't been serviced effectively, to get that education up. And once that education is up, the usability of the use cases will start making sense, and you'll see that adoption curves increase.
I love that.
Makes sense.
So it makes perfect sense. So currently, is there any place in Ghana where a Ghanaian youth can go to today, physical location, to learn, or it has to be online at this point?
At this point in time, I would say this is the location you need. You need to be on your phone, but there are partners that we've started the conversation with. In fact, even the Minister of Communications, Innovations and Digital Technologies opened up an invite to say that they want to train 100 million coders and AI professionals in Ghana.
Okay.
It's those type of initiatives that will give us basis or premise to say, let's open up even a silo office or something to get the ball running. And as soon as the crypto legislation is involved or has been released and sent it to, we would then have the necessary cause or the motivation there to open up shop in Ghana. And hopefully we can have a big one of these type of setups in Ghana and turn it into a training hub or innovation hub. We have Binance Labs. We maybe can put that into the mix. Now I'm just thinking of a lot of opportunities that exist, but slowly we'll get there.
Awesome. So like one step at a time. And I love so much what you're doing with Binance. And thank you so much for answering these questions. Larry, can you please tell the people where they can go to find you if they want to connect?
Thank you. I don't know if they want to find me, but you can find Binance and all the other official websites. I'm on LinkedIn. I'm on LinkedIn. LinkedIn, you'll find me.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Can I connect with you on socials, please?
Yeah, sure.